The presenter this afternoon will be Mary Martinez. And Mary and I work together in the wellness department. Mary graduated from the University of North Florida. She has a bachelor's degree in community health. She is a community wellness liaison at Florida Healthcare Plans. And a little fun fact is Christmas is her favorite holiday. So without further ado, Mary, take it away.
Thank you, Joe, for that opening. Well, thank you guys for showing up today and being a part of our PowerPoint today. We hope you enjoy it. So when we think of the holidays, it can come with a lot of different emotions. For many of us, it's a time for celebration. There's family gatherings, parties, time off work, traveling with our loved ones, and shopping for gifts for the ones that we love. But with all that excitement, there can also come some unwanted emotions, such as stress, anxiety, even grief. And for some, the holidays can be a bittersweet time of the year, perhaps because they're missing loved ones or they're worrying about finances. They get anxious about gaining weight from all the festive gatherings that were centered around the food. But all of these different types of stressors can start to add up and make it difficult to enjoy the holiday season and stay focused on what the holidays are really about. So today we're going to talk about some of the ways that we can help relieve the stress and worry from one of the most common stressors around the holiday season, which is finances. So we will discuss the importance of having a holiday budget and the ways we can stick to it. And hopefully we can help avoid the financial stress that comes with the holidays. So when we think of the holiday season, we start thinking about our loved ones and items that we want to buy them as gifts to bring joy and happiness to them come Christmas morning. This is a completely normal, healthy behavior and thought to have. But for many, it can lead us down a stressful road due to financial stress that the spending may cause. It may also trigger a downward spiral that causes other issues such as depression, and even wanting to isolate from others because of the stress that we're feeling. So in order to avoid those negative effects of financial burdens, we need to create a way to be able to purchase those gifts for our loved ones while also not going out of our personal budget. And in order to have a budget, we need to first understand how to produce one so we can set ourselves up for that success. But first, let's talk about some of these holiday statistics that I found to be very interesting and telling. So the National Retail Federation found that in 2021, consumers spent about $1,000 on gifts for the holiday season. And 36% of Americans took on holiday debt this season. And that's up from 31% just last year or the year before, 2020. Of all the ways to end the holiday season and to start the new year, being in debt is probably one of the worst things you could do. And trust me when I say that none of your loved ones want a gift from you if it means that you have to go into debt in order to give them a gift. That's not what the holiday season is about, and it can be avoided if you discipline yourself enough to have a holiday budget. So when the holiday season rolls around, about the same time each year, you got to understand that you're also going to have unexpected expenses that may catch you and your wallet off guard throughout the year. So creating that budget can help turn those surprises into anticipated costs. It can also give you a little solid foundation from the start by saving you lots of time and stress down the road. So if you're looking to save on holiday spending, here are some steps to build a holiday budget. You want to first start planning early. So setting your priorities early can help ensure that necessary items in your everyday budget aren't sacrificed. Starting early also allows you to take better advantage of sales throughout the year, and you won't have to fight Black Friday crowds for these events that you're looking for. And with more time to browse, you can watch for sales and deals during the entire year. You won't feel that pressure to buy something just because the clock is ticking and you ran out of time come December. You can also create a list of holiday expenses. So to start saving ahead of the holidays, it kind of helps to create a plan that you write down, beginning by making a list of all your unexpected holiday expenses. So some of the examples could maybe be gift exchange items, gifts for friends, coworkers, gift wrapping supplies, etc. But making a list will give you that basic idea of things that you will need to pay for, and it makes it easier to prioritize if you limit your spending this year. You can also decide on a spending limit. And how to do that is first you decide what you want to spend on each category or in total, and then decide which categories are the most important to you. Now that you know where your money is going, you determine how much you have available to cover those holiday expenses this year. It's important to take a hard look at your budget and decide how much money you have left over to spend during the gift giving season. So each year should look a little bit different. And so having the same set budget each year really doesn't make sense. So you have to critically look at your expenses and modify your budget each year, just so that you know exactly what's going in and what's coming out, and it will be different every year. And when you're considering this amount, be sure that you only use the money that you have set aside or extra money that you can find in your budget. It's important to not plan on spending more than you have saved initially with a plan to pay it off later. So when holiday shopping comes around, you may want to stick to a cash-only system. Putting the gifts on a credit card sometimes makes it easier to overspend. And credit cards also have that double-digit interest rate. So a $1,000 charge to a credit card for your holiday gifts really may come out to costing you more than $1,800 or more after interest are added to it. So creating lists, it's one of the easiest ways to stay organized and gather your thoughts and to keep you on track with your financial budget goals. You can use good old-fashioned pen and paper, or you can step up your organizational game and you can purchase one of those little fancy monthly budget planners or journals that they have at most stores, and it's right down the aisle where they keep their calendars. Once you write something down, do your best to stick to that plan. However, if you need to adjust for unforeseen circumstances in your holiday budget, then just be sure to do so. You want your budget to be realistic and accurate as possible. That way you can achieve obtainable goals. So if you need to, go ahead and change it so it's realistic with the numbers that you're working with. And if you find yourself coming in under your monthly budget, you could let that amount roll over into the next month or for the next holiday, or you can add that amount to your savings account and pat yourself on the back, because that shows that the budget helped keep you on track and it's working, and that you can save money even during the holiday season. And if you find yourself overspending and not staying within that budget that you made, just be sure to reevaluate each category to determine what areas you can adjust to help bring you closer to the budget. If the thought of saving kind of seems overwhelming, then just start out slow, perhaps only grabbing a coffee from your favorite coffee shop every other day rather than every day if that's your normal schedule. Those small changes are what really adds up to the most savings during a long length of time. And they're sometimes the easiest way to save a lot of money. So, for example, if you usually grab that cup of coffee from Starbucks that costs you, let's say, $6 a day, that would equal around $42 a week, which in a whole year, that's over $2,000. And just cutting back on every other day would save you around $1,000 a year. That's crazy, right? But the numbers do not lie. And this is why having your budget and your expenses written down are going to help you see the big picture. And it's going to show you simple ways that you can possibly trim the fat on your expenses. So another great idea for saving during the holidays is to get creative with ideas of homemade gifts. Nothing is more personal and heartfelt than a homemade gift from someone. Just stay open to the ideas throughout the year of ways you can create something for your loved ones that will not only be personal for them to receive, but also a way for you to keep gift giving reasonable and not overspend. So some easy ideas could be making a homemade holiday stationery cards, maybe painting rocks for someone who's a gardener, or making homemade bird feeders for an avid bird watcher, maybe printing a quote from a book and getting a dollar store picture frame and putting that in the frame for a loved one who enjoys reading. The gift is not about what it cost you, but the thought and the effort behind it. And that is what makes a good gift, a gift that is meaningful and special. Even if you aren't crafty, you can still keep things affordable, such as giving the grandparents photos of the kids or baking cookies. You can also try thrift store shopping or garage sale finds and maybe find some really cool, rare things to give people that they can't find at the store. Or how about starting new holiday traditions? And instead of everyone buying each other a gift, try the idea of a white elephant exchange as a fun gift exchange idea. Or perhaps your family agreeing to donate to a cause that's near and dear to them in lieu of gifts to each other. Or what about the idea of one large family trip to share an experience with each other in the family, as opposed to everyone giving individual gifts? If everyone decides on an experience that maybe they want to have together as a family, everyone in lieu of presents can just chip in some money for that trip. If your holiday finances are an issue for you, then chances are they may be an issue for the other ones around you and for your family members besides just you. And by openly discussing this topic with your loved ones ahead of time, it can help alleviate some of that pressure and the stress that comes from the holidays and the financial burden that it may bring us. So just remember that the holiday season is about the people around you and not about the food or the gifts. Try to keep things into perspective and allow yourself to keep things simple so that you have less stress and worry about the holiday spending and those negative consequences that it may bring you. The goal is really to just start out that new year without having any debt. And so let's talk some examples about a budget, a holiday budget. So this one is a large budget. One large paper that just shows the amount of the budget, and then you can itemize the gift descriptions with how much it cost, and then the final column would show the remaining balance. So this is a really easy way to keep things on paper and keep you on track. And then this budget template shows categories, which we briefly talked about in the prior slide. So all the major holiday expenses are in a category and assigned a certain amount for each budget within that category. And then towards the bottom, it shows the grand total and the actual budget total to see if you went above or if you stayed within that amount. Another tip for sticking to a budget is making a separate list of items or travel experiences that you are wishing and hoping to have for the upcoming new year. And having these goals written down will serve as a reminder that you're saving now in the present for a reason, and it will motivate you to help you stick to that budget. You can also make your own budget ledger by just having a pen and paper and just a sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy like this, but it could be something like this that you find in a journal at a store, if that will help you stay, doing it and keeping it with you in your purse or your briefcase. They come in a nice hardback cover. And so you can make it as simple or as fancy as you want. But at the end of the day, there's a simple budget ledger out there that chances are could help you with your personal financial goals. And if you're still struggling with your finances or you know someone who is, consider reaching out to a local organization. There's many local reputable organizations and charities that provide low-income, unemployed, or just struggling income families that help out throughout the year, especially during the holiday season. Some of them will offer Christmas gifts, especially for the children, clothing, warm clothing, as well as holiday food baskets and even food drives. So you can, call any of these organizations. You can look them up online to get more details and their addresses. But just simply starting by calling the local number may be able to help you or someone you know that really is in a financial strain right now, and they may need a little bit of help during the holidays, as we all do time and time again. When things come up, So just make sure that if it's beyond a budget planner that can help you, that you do know that there are local resources out there to help. All right. If there's no questions, I want to thank you all for attending today. I appreciate your time, and we wish you all a healthy and happy holiday season. And if you do have any questions after we end the presentation that you think of, be sure to reach out to us at the email address provided. We would love to hear from you. And also, if you end up doing a budget planner and it helps, let us know. We would love to hear that success story if it helps you kind of get things on track a little better. So I think that's it. You guys have a great day, and thanks again.